Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, 50 Shades of Black and White, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own struggles as a patient with mental illness, having borderline personality disorder. I talk about narcissistic personality disorder, bipolar, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, and a lot of other mental illnesses, as well as therapy, psychologists, and my own personal struggles with unethical psychologists. But I only come on as a patient. I do not have a degree in psychology. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. So I can only answer you in the comments as a former patient. I cannot give you professional advice. So I just want you to know that. I want to make that really clear that I cannot give professional advice. And all I ask of you is kindness. Kindness in the comments. Kindness below to me, to other people who comment, and to yourself. Please be kind. Please do not be rude or put anyone down. Okay? We're all trying our best here. So we don't need to put other people down. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome to 50 Shades of Black and White. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It is 100% free. Now here's a dad joke for you.
What did the buffalo say to his son when he dropped him off at school? Bye, son. Some people pick their nose, but I was just born with mine.
Okay, enough of the dad jokes. Today we're going to talk about, drum roll. Can someone really fulfill the needs of a person with borderline personality disorder? Can someone really, because this is what prompted me to do this video. There was a comment by someone that said about her boyfriend kind of letting her down, not fulfilling her, not being there for her, that he said that she was like, too much, that he couldn't, This is the reputation we get as borderlines, okay? We're told that we're too demanding, we want too much attention, we're too dramatic, we're drama queens, we're too sensitive, we're too emotional, we're too angry. It's usually too and an adjective, and like no one usually is up for that challenge, and that's why most of the time borderlines don't last in relationships. I've only had one relationship last all my life, and that's with my husband, who I did an interview with. But even he gets impatient with me a lot of times. He yells at me and raises his voice and gets, irritated easily. When I first met him, he wasn't that way at all. He was very tolerable. But I guess the borderline in me came out, because he even said in that interview, if you watch that interview, that he didn't know I had borderline personality disorder till 10 years after we were married. And I was in shock when he said that. I really was. If you watch that interview with my husband, I was like, I didn't expect that answer. I never rehearse anything, on my videos. I just wing it. And I certainly didn't rehearse, that with my husband. Now, so in my therapies, no therapist, ever really lasted with me. They all said the same thing. They didn't want to, I was too high a risk. That's what they say, or high risk, because I reported therapists, but I reported therapists because they were unethical, I mean, really. too much, want too much attention, always making phone calls, always writing emails, always in a crisis. That's another thing. Borderlines are always in a crisis because they blow everything out of proportion. So they can't, because they can't rein in their feelings. So every little nuance becomes a full-blown crisis. And, people just kind of like, back off from that. All right. We can't control how other people react to us, okay? So I can't come on here and, tell you how this person or that person, how your boyfriend or your therapist or your parents or mother or father, your siblings or your bestie friend or anything, I can't say that, how they can relate to you. All I can say is what can help you. And I can only, relate to what helps me. What helps me is to kind of like have my own thing going on, like fulfilling my own needs. Now, I didn't get to this point till like late in my 50s, okay? So for those of you younger, this did not happen to me at all when I was younger. My life revolved around people. I did not have anything to myself. And that's the whole problem, I think. That with a borderline, because they have such intense emotions, that, they revolve around a person or persons, and then that becomes their existence, their world. So any kind of fracture in that cracks them, see? So what I've learned, especially after quitting therapy, and I've been therapy free now for 2.5 years, what I've learned from that is not to revolve myself around people, but to revolve myself around what I feel passionate about, which is my poetry, my writings, my YouTube videos, okay? Those things take up an immense amount of my time. And those things can't let me down. I mean, sometimes I feel upset when someone makes a nasty comment. But they don't let me down because, they're not involving other people. When I write my poetry, and I'm published in magazines as well as publishing poetry books available on Amazon, and when I write books about my therapy, that feels good. That feels empowering. To me, doing these videos feels empowering because I'm helping other people through my own experiences as a former patient. But I'm not relying on anyone else, on anyone else's help. So I'm centering my whole day revolving around things that I'm very passionate about that don't involve other people. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't involve someone else like it used to. So before, my whole day would revolve around seeing my therapist. I mentioned this in one video. I'd get up, exercise, primp myself up, spend an hour in the closet picking out like a beautiful dress and shoes or boots, and doing my hair and ironing, making sure every wrinkle and every crease is out of my outfit, and just like it would revolve until I could go see that person. And now I don't see anyone during the day. My husband's working full-time in his office. My son's working full-time in his office, in his bedroom, which is his bedroom/office. And I'm working full-time doing my writings and my videos. Now, I do videos practically every single day. And it's a lot of work. You have to find a topic. You have to, it's not always easy to come up with a topic every single day or mostly every day. And then you have to do the video. Then you have to edit the video, which takes time. Then you have to put the video up, which takes a lot of time because you have to. I'm not going to go into it all. Then I have to market the video. I just can't. Yeah, I just don't put it up on YouTube. I have to, put it out to all the platforms, the social medias, the Facebooks, the Reddits, the LinkedIns. I don't know. I have to put it, the Twitters, whatever other social medias. I just can't, all the groups. I can't just, I don't just put it there. So it involves a big chunk of my time. So does my writing a poem. So I'm not going to bore you with the details of what I find passionate and what I do all day. My advice to you is to involve yourself in things that you feel very passionate about that don't involve other people. See, so you're not relying on someone else for your happiness. I no longer rely on a therapist, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a child, anyone for my happiness. I rely on myself now for my happiness. And this is truly important because nobody can disappoint me if, I'm just relying on myself. So my advice to you is to find something you truly feel passionate about and to pursue it full force. Go into it. And that will, I know you have a job, but I'm talking about when you're not working, on your free time, after work, on the weekends. You see what I'm saying? So that you won't be relying on someone else for your happiness. I think this is very important for everyone, not just people who have borderline personality disorder. But this is what happens when you get caught up and you focus on people or persons, and this is what happens because people will always let you down. Why? Because they're human. They're human. So as humans, they're going to let you down because that's what people do. I mean, even my husband, I can't just rely completely on my husband 100%. He's great and everything, but he's working all day. And my son is working all day, and I've got my own things that that I do that just that make me happy inside, so I can find inner happiness. I don't rely on outwardly happiness, putting it on another person, because you can never change people. Okay, you can't change people. You can't make people what you want them to be for you. It doesn't work out that way. You've got to be, for yourself, what you want yourself to be. It took me a very, very long time to come to this conclusion. That's why I don't go to therapy anymore. That's why I don't have friends. I'm not saying having friends is bad, but I'm saying that having bad friends is much worse than having no friends. See? I always, examine, and think things through now, where before I was very impulsive, I think things thoroughly through, and I didn't do that before because I think it's much easier to not get involved in something than when you already get yourself involved with someone or something. It's very harder to get out of that. See what I'm saying? So I think about, do I really want to spend my time with this person? Is this person going to hurt me? What is this person looking out? Why do they want to see? I question every little thing, And, so I don't let myself get into the situation. See what I'm saying? Because once you're in the situation, because we're so passionate people and we're so, it's very hard to get out of the situation. Like, for instance, if you meet a man and he says, why don't you come to this coffee shop? It's just a block from my house. And you go, well, why do I have to go all the way, to his neighborhood, Oh, well, I don't have a car. I don't drive. And he knows I have a car and I drive, right? He's looking for me as a sucker for transportation. See? I'm not going to go to him. If he wanted to really meet me and take me on a date or something, he'd probably, he could get a taxi, or he could rent a car or something, or he could find a way, you see what I'm saying, to take me on a date. Let me tell you this point. My boyfriend once, his car was in the shop, and so he couldn't pick me up for the date, right? You know what he did? He ordered a taxi, and the taxi picked me up, brought me to his house, okay, and then we went to a restaurant in his neighborhood. But he paid for the taxi. He called for it. He ordered it because his car was in the shop. You see what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself, before you get involved with someone, is this right for me? Is this person right for me? What is this person, this person isn't willing to do, willing to even meet me halfway. This person wants me to go to their neighborhood. This person wants me to do the legwork, to go to them. And their excuse is they have no car. And I just showed you. When I had a boyfriend and his car was in the shop, what did he do? He called a taxi to pick me up at my house. The taxi drove to his house. He paid the taxi. And then we both walked like 5 minutes to a beautiful restaurant in his neighborhood because he lived in the city. And then he paid for a taxi ride home. See? So if he wanted my company bad enough, he was willing, to get me to his place and back on his dime. It wasn't like, well, you have to come to me. My car's in the shop. Or, I'm sorry, I can't see you. See what I'm saying? So you always have to question that. Before, I'd be the dummy and would just, do whatever the person wanted to do. I don't know. But now I have myself in very high esteem, very high regard. And I say to myself, I don't need you. All right? I don't need your company. If you're willing, you want my company, then you do something. All right? Then you do something. So that way there, I never get hurt. I never get disappointed. And if it's too much on someone, then guess what? The relationship doesn't even begin. See what I'm saying? Then the relationship doesn't even exist. It never began. So there's nothing to be hurt over because there was nothing there to begin with. I hope that what I'm trying to tell you sinks in a little bit, that you understand where I'm coming from, that you've got to rely on yourself, okay? Because no one else is going to do it for you. No one, okay? Nobody, all right? You've got to be able to fulfill your own needs, right? That way there, you will feel really good about yourself, for one. No one else can hurt you because you're indestructible. Like that song, next time I'll be bulletproof. Remember that? You know that song, Bulletproof? Next time, baby, I'll be bulletproof. That's the song. Yeah. So that's what I say to myself, There'll be no next time. I'm bulletproof. I'm bulletproof. No one can hurt me because next time, baby, I'll be bulletproof. not going back to my karaoke days now. But yeah, so make yourself bulletproof. You can do it. Believe me. If I can do it, if I can do it, just look over my history. Look at my other videos. You can do it too. So, do it.